Buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive headfirst into the scandal that's rocking Britain to its core. Keir Starmer, the self-proclaimed guardian of our nation, has been caught in a lie so massive, so shameless, it'll leave you reeling. He strutted onto the stage, cameras flashing, voice dripping with confidence, promising to deliver salvation, swearing his government would finally grab the reins, crush the vile criminal gangs swarming our shores, and lock down our crumbling borders. He funneled millions into dazzling, headline-stealing projects, turned up the tough talk volume to max, and demanded we all buy into his grand illusion of control. But now, the curtain's been ripped away, the cold, hard truth is blazing in neon lights, and the numbers don't just talk, they roar. Starmer's colossal scam has detonated in his face with a bang so loud it's shaking the foundations of Britain. But hold on. Before we tear into this explosive betrayal, here's the deal. If you're boiling with rage, if you're done swallowing the elite's lies, then slam that like button now and hit subscribe. Don't wait. Join our unstoppable, fast-growing legion of truth warriors who won't stand for this outrage. Every second you hesitate, the deception digs deeper. Subscribe today and join the fight to take back our country. Let's make our voices thunder. Drop your fury in the comments below and let's ignite this revolution. Now, let's rip the lid off this catastrophe. What's unfolding right now is a nightmare so dire it's almost unbelievable. A full-on invasion of Britain's shores that Starmer vowed to halt. But instead, he's let it erupt into a tsunami of chaos. The numbers are in, and they are downright terrifying. Brace yourself for the shock. In just the last 5 days, over 1,300 migrants have stormed across the English Channel illegally, spitting in the face of Starmer's hollow promises. GB News dropped this bombshell, and it's a dagger to the heart of every Brit who trusted him. Think that's grim? It gets darker, much darker. The only thing, stopping those numbers from exploding into the millions was the merciless weather battering the channel for months. Storms raged, waves pounded like a fortress wall. But the moment the seas calmed, kaboom! A volcanic eruption of illegal crossings that shredded Starmer's master plan into confetti. Let's break it down, because these stats will set your blood on fire. Today alone, at least 118 migrants swaggered onto our land like they've got a free pass. Yesterday, a staggering 326 more poured in, stuffed into just 6 flimsy boats. 6. The day before, another 182 slipped through the cracks. And then there's Sunday. Oh, Sunday was the knockout punch. The biggest March arrival in history. 592 migrants crammed into 11 shaky vessels, strolling onto British soil like it's open season. That's right, 592 in one day, a record-crushing humiliation that proves beyond all doubt that Starmer's rule is a flaming, crashing failure. 8 months into his so-called tough-on-crime crusade, and what's the result? Not a flicker of progress, not a whisper of control, just an avalanche of anarchy growing bigger, wilder, and more unstoppable every single day. The numbers don't lie, folks. They scream bloody murder. Since January 1st, over 3,400 migrants have flooded in via the channel. Wrap your mind around that. 3,400. That's nearly 20% more than this time last year. And let's not kid ourselves. 2024 was already a record-smashing horror show with 36,800 arrivals, a monstrous surge from the year before. So, what's Starmer done to tackle this crisis that's choking the life out of Britain? Oh, he's been busy hurling millions of your tax pounds into a flashy new border security command, like it's some golden ticket. He's pumped cash into the National Crime Agency, piled on the resources, and bragged about nabbing a few pathetic smugglers here and there, some in the UK, some across Europe. Whoop-de-doo. Has it stopped the boats? No way. Has it even put a dent in the flood? Not on your life. The boats keep coming, the gangs keep cackling, and Britain keeps sinking under Starmer's pathetic watch. A maritime security expert laid it out bare, and his words hit like a freight train. It's as obvious as daylight. This smash the gangs nonsense is a total, abject fiasco. 8 months of Labour's reign, 8 months of overhyped law enforcement theatrics. And what's the payoff? Zip. No drop in crossings. Just the opposite. The gates are flung wide open, and the only thing keeping this disaster in check is the weather gods. If it weren't for those storms thrashing the channel, we'd be drowning under numbers so astronomical they'd blow your mind. This is the smoking gun. The blazing red flag that Starmer's entire game plan is a gigantic, glittering fraud exposed for the world to see. He parades around, chin up, spouting tough guy lines like he's some border-crushing colossus. He throws money at agencies like it's confetti, unveils shiny initiatives with all the swagger of a showman, and expects us to cheer while he solves it all. But the reality? It's a soul-crushing train wreck. The criminal gangs, those soulless, money-grubbing parasites, are still calling the shots, slicker and cockier than ever. The crossings, higher than ever. Labour's loud, proud smash the gangs stunt. It's crashed and burned in a blaze of disgrace, and Starmer's left choking on the wreckage of his own lies. Meanwhile, the Home Office has the sheer audacity to keep shoveling their tired excuses. A spokesperson dared to say, "We all want to stop these deadly small boat crossings that endanger lives and blast our border security to smithereens. These smuggling gangs couldn't care less if their exploited victims live or die. They just want the payday. We'll stop at nothing to rip their wicked empires apart and hold them to justice." Oh, give us a break. Save the sob story. We've heard this drivel before. Endless hot air, zero action. This government, just like the last, is stuck in a pitiful cycle of bluster and bust, while Starmer pretends he's the iron-fisted hero cracking down on illegal immigration. The truth, his policies are a smoldering ruin. The crossings are skyrocketing, and the British people are being conned on a scale that defies belief. Let's dig deeper, because this mess gets uglier. Starmer's whole pitch rests on this fairy tale, that he can smash the gangs and slam the brakes on the boats. Sounds noble, right? Who wouldn't cheer for that? But here's the twist. It's all a mirage. Those millions he's splashed on the Border Security Command? Squandered. The extra juice for the NCA? Pointless. Sure, they've nabbed a few small fry smugglers. Big deal. The puppet masters, the evil geniuses running this horror show, they are still out there, counting their cash while Starmer's crew stumbles around like clowns. The boats aren't just coming. They are multiplying like a plague, pouring in like a relentless tide, and all Starmer can do is flap his lips and toss more money into the abyss. Step back and clock the timeline. 8 months ago, Starmer swaggered into power, chest puffed out, promising he'd be the steel backbone Britain craved. 8 months later, what's different? Nothing. The channel's a lawless playground. The gangs are invincible, and the migrant numbers are soaring like a missile. That Sunday record, 592 in one day, should have been a 5-alarm fire, a deafening klaxon that his plan is a sham. Instead, he digs in, keeps yammering about control, while the evidence stacks up like a tower of doom. This isn't just failure. It's treason, plain and simple. And don't fall for their cop-outs. The Home Office loves to whimper about dangerous crossings and vulnerable people. Sure, it's awful, but where's the muscle? Where's the iron resolve Starmer swore he'd wield? If they meant it, those boats would have stopped dead by now. Instead, we get platitudes and PR stunts while the gangs run a slick operation, shipping load after load across our borders. The weather's been the only sheriff in town, storms holding back the deluge, because Starmer sure isn't. Let's hammer those numbers home again, because they are the stake through Starmer's heart. Over 3,400 since January, 20% more than last year. Last year's 36,800 was already a body blow, and now we're on pace to obliterate that record into dust. Every day, Every boat, every migrant landing on our shores is a slap to every Brit who believed in Starmer. He's not just floundering, he's floundering magnificently, and the fallout is a calamity he built with his own hands. The gangs aren't trembling, they are thriving. The borders aren't locked, they are a turnstile. And Starmer, he's not a leader, he's a fraud whose scam's been blown to kingdom come. So, what's the endgame? More boats, more millions flushed away, more empty speeches while Britain drowns. This isn't just a crisis, it's a day of reckoning. Starmer's peddled us a fantasy, and now the bills come due. The British people deserve better. We deserve better. This isn't politics anymore. It's a battle for our nation's soul, a fight to claw back control from the madness Starmer's unleashed. The truth is blazing, the numbers don't lie, and the scam's finished. Keir Starmer's reign is a house of lies crumbling under the weight of his own deceit. What do you say? Are you livid? Sickened? Ready to roar for justice? Unleash your thoughts in the comments below. Let's set this blaze raging. Smash that like button, subscribe, and join the uprising. Because if we don't rise now, who will? This is Britain's breaking point. Don't let it slip away.